Right, hello. I didn't even think I was going to come on tonight and do a stream, but um, there was just something that caught my eye. I thought I'd come and speak for a couple of minutes. Won't be a long one, probably, but uh, these things keep happening. Let's see if I was looking forward to this Artemis rocket launching, and look at this headline: Artemis 1 launch. NASA bungles second attempt at groundbreaking mission to Moon. They're going to be feeding the conspiracy theorists, aren't they? No, let's not go there. But it's a real shame. But I suppose it is better that they not launch and then launch when it works than launch and just everything goes kaboom. But I thought, what's going on this time? So it says here, to bungle one rocket launch might be regarded as misfortune, but to botch two is beginning to look like carelessness. NASA suffered the indignity of scrubbing a second attempt to get back to the moon on Saturday after springing yet another fuel leak in its Space Launch System SLS rocket. So a fuel leak apparently, another one. I guess that was what caused the first one to be scrapped. And same thing again. Do you know, if they want, I've got some silicon sealant left over. I'm sure I've got some in the cupboard in the kitchen there somewhere. And I've definitely got some duct tape kicking about, definitely. And that's all you need. I mean, silicon sealant is kind of, I guess, more stable, but like, if you want a quick solution, duct tape. Duct tape fixes all. Come on, NASA, whap some of that on. You're good to go. Seriously. But yeah, that's a bit of a shame. I was kind of looking forward to seeing the footage of this thing launching. I don't think I would have caught it live anyway, because we were out today. I was working this morning. Oh, hi, Sean. Yeah, it's good to see somebody here. Let's see. It makes you... Let me see what it says here. It makes you think that if they've had two failed attempts at this day and age, how did they manage back in the day? Yes, and the thinking emojis. I like it. Well, this is part of the conspiracies, isn't it? Because the old technology, allegedly, they've lost, or thrown away. They didn't keep it. Because it's like, well, surely you had all these designs, surely you had all the paperwork, the drawings, the technical drawings, all this kind of stuff of how you got there the first time. A lot of it's just not there. So they've kind of had to redo, and it's like, really? But no, let's just give the benefit of the doubt and say, yep, that's how it is. They just, they didn't keep all this stuff archived forever. They lost a lot of stuff. Things got moved around. Things got lost. But yeah, I guess I would say just giving them the benefit of the doubt. Back in the day, they just didn't have a fuel leak that they noticed, so off they went and they went for it. But I guess they've got a lot of more things looking at it. High definition cameras, like maybe infrared. They're trying to look for any tiny little cracks and leaks. If they spotted a fuel leak, Sean, then yeah, you can't really send a rocket with a fuel leak. It's just gonna go kaboom. Yeah, like happened in was it Challenger in the 90s? That was bad. That was really bad because obviously everyone was watching, including the families of the people on board. I know this one isn't manned though. At least this is just stuff. It's just metal, rubber, plastics, all that kind of stuff. So less health and safety back then. Yeah, yeah. It was just a case of, yeah, this might be dangerous, but we're just going to do it, and what happens happens. In a way, I miss a bit of that about some things. Not so much to do with human life, though. I can see I think when it comes to human life, I think it depends on the people involved, whether they know there are certain risks and accept it. Then fair enough. It's a hard balance. You've got to strike a balance, particularly with things like, say, Formula One, for example. That's gotten a lot safer now, and that is a good thing. The guys back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, they were a lot braver in a way because of the dangers they faced, but it can spark a whole debate, like, was it right that they had to face those dangers? But, there was nobody forcing them to do what they were doing. It's the same like the argument with the Isle of Man TT races that's gone for years and years. It's really dangerous. Sadly, people usually die each year. But these are guys who are wanting to do it, and there's a part of me that gets that, because there's part of me that would want to do it. In fact, my wife had a dream once that I went to, in the dream, I'd gone and done the Isle of Man TT race without without telling her that was what I was going to do. I mean, dreams don't make any sense, do they? I mean, because I don't have the money to do that for starters. But she was so angry with me in the dream that in the dream she changed the door locks and locked me out of the house. So that when I came back, I wouldn't be able to get back in because she was that angry with me in the dream. It's funny, isn't it? Even in my dreams, even in my wife's dreams, she's mad at me. It's just a joke. She's usually fine with me, but yeah, she does think I'm a doofus some of the times. But yeah, well, I've derailed my own thoughts again. What was that? Isle of Man TT races. I can kind of understand it a bit. What it is now I've heard. I know I've got toxoplasmosis in my body, which is something you can get from cats, and some people have it without knowing it. I know for sure I've got it because I got it in the retina of my eye at one point, in the right eye, and I've heard some things. I've not seen. I need to research a bit more about this, but apparently if you've got toxo, it can make you a little bit more crazy and reckless and prone to doing mad things or dangerous things. So I don't know how much of that is just me, that would quite like to race the Isle of Man TT, or how much of it is toxoplasmosis maybe influenced. Maybe it's damaged part of my brain, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, I'm sure Artemis will get launched at some point. I'm sure they'll get it going, and that'll be interesting to see. So what was the other thing? I mean, in the same kind of field, well, not field, in the same kind of what's the word? I'll just click on to the next thing anyway. It's about things that are broken, right? Broken down HMS Prince of Wales becomes tourist hotspot on Hampshire coast. So it's limping back. I heard that they were limping this thing back with one propeller or something, so they can get it fixed. It's £3 billion aircraft carrier, and I think it's become like a thing that people are going to go and looking at, to gawp at it and go, haha, look at the broken boat. Let's see. Navy officials announced on Friday that due to those technical difficulties, it would be replaced by HMS Queen Elizabeth on the trip to the US. Okay, so at least we've got something. I mean, I know we've got other ships as well, but it doesn't look good for our strength to have one get a few yards out of the into the water and then have a massive fault and have to limp back home. But, let's see now. It left Portsmouth that day for US diplomatic visits, which would have included flight trials with the F-35B Lightning jets. Now the F-35s, as far as I'm aware, we've been testing them for a while. We've had them for a while, so they should all be good. I think we know that they work, I guess, but maybe they haven't done too much testing from the actual aircraft carriers. I did see one where I think it was one of the aircraft carriers. They were about to take off, and with the F-35, there's like a flap thing that comes up off the top for the jet to help like direct the jet straight down so it can do vertical takeoff. And this poor unfortunate bird happened to be flying over the top of it at the time, just go sucked bang straight down into the air intake of this jet engine, and I think that was the end of the bird. But I don't think it actually did any or too much damage or any damage to the F-35. But that could have been bad. That could have knocked the whole engine up. It's always a risk with flights, particularly jets at such speeds. Just bird strikes. I mean, it's rare, but it's a hazard of it. I'm sure I saw a bit of YouTube footage once about a guy who was talking about his experience of he was flying a jet and a bird strike, and it went into the cockpit, and it kind of bits of it were all splattered all around near his head, all over and stuff. And he was lucky, thankfully, it didn't actually hit his head itself to knock him out or anything. But he said it made a right mess of the cockpit, and damage to obviously to the canopy and stuff, and just bits of bird everywhere. I can imagine the speeds they do. I don't think there was really any other headlines that was grabbing my attention. Let me see if I get rid of that. So, yeah. So yeah, just things broken at the moment. Rocket ships, big massive ships, needing to get sorted out. But I don't know with the NASA thing, like whether they've missed the opportunity now, like the window of launch for however many days, or whether it's just a case of literally it's a day or two, whap some duct tape on that thing and get it up going. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of imagery comes out of it. Hopefully they've got good cameras all around, and yeah, we'll see what happens. I always find those things interesting. I think apparently according to YouTube there is somebody watching. If you're there, say hi, I'll have a chat. If you've got a question, whack it in the chat and I will speak back. It's actually novel for me to have people watching. I usually just feel like I'm kind of talking to myself online, but you know. It's nice to see you again, Sean. It's always good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. What day is it? It's a Saturday. Yeah, daughter is turning 14 in a few days, so that's good. I'm looking forward to that. I've actually taken a day off work, so do you know what? They just get more and more expensive as they get older, kids. Oh, you're still here? It's you that's here. Cool. How's the bike bracket coming along? It's still in the vise in my backyard. Still waiting for me to get the angle grinder out to actually sort of put this curved angle bit into it, and then I can start drilling the holes. It's literally gone nowhere, mate. I think the last time I talked about it, or the last time I'd done anything on it 3 or 4 weeks ago, it hasn't moved. Nothing's happened. I know, excuses, really, just me and my excuses, but it's just between work and kids and holiday work, kids. By the time usually my day starts, for me to do anything that I want to do, it's at this kind of time of the evening. So what are we now, like 11 o'clock? And I can't whack out an angle grinder and start like making a noise in the backyard at 11 o'clock. Sparks flying everywhere, that would just annoy the hell out of the neighbours. I've got neighbours that have got like a young baby as well. Yeah, that's not going to fly. So, I don't know, I'll have to try and see if I get some time during the day to do it. Like, 'cause I just need to angle grind some stuff. Probably just take 10 minutes. But the thing is, it's just my work hours. I tend to be working during the day. Of course you can, mate. Yeah, yeah. I'd be Mr. Popular in my neighbourhood. Fire up that angle grinder. 11 o'clock at night. Don't get me wrong. It would be fun, especially seeing the sparks in the dark going everywhere. There was one time as well. I had this. I can't remember what kind of a top it was. It was like a long sleeve top, and I was angle grinding something, this metal, and I was working on something, but I didn't realise all the sparks were coming at me, but I wasn't really noticing. But then afterwards, there was like all these little burn marks all over my top, and I was like proper knacked me top, and I think of the arm as well. There was like all these little holes, and I was like, yeah, I should have thought about that. Take it to work and give it to maintenance. But do I really want it broken, Sean? Don't maintenance just break things? That's the skill, isn't it? It's like how to take something that should take half an hour to fix, 3 hours to fix. Nah, I'm just joshing. They were. Yeah, the first thing that would happen, Sean, you know those guys we were talking about at the company, they would plug a laptop into it first of all. Even though it's just a piece of metal, they'd somehow plug a laptop in and go, what's going on here? Yeah. No, there were some good ones. Do you remember the girl Sam? There was once where I was over just in module. I can't remember why I was there now, but there was a guy who was working there, and she'd said something to him saying, "Oh, this is what will fix this," and but she was trainee, I think, at the time. So the other people that were there were like fiddling on with their laptops and trying to figure out what to do, and in the end they ended up doing what she said, which was correct. and the guy that was working on the station was like, "Yep," because it had happened before, and she knew what it was that they needed to do to fix. Yeah, there was some. I'm having memories now of things when things went wrong, and I hadn't been working there that long. At one point, when there was like a major downage, and all the big bosses came along, and we actually all got sent out of the way. Just go and make yourself scarce. Go, you know. And it was a bit daunting to me. I'd only just started there, and it was like they had to use a forklift to move something off the line because some things were like where they shouldn't be, and I remember saying to somebody, "Is this like normal? I mean, what's going on?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, these things happen. Just stay out of the way. Just stay out of the way of the big bosses until it's resolved, and then you go back to your station and crack on." Um, yeah, it's funny how the brain works. I forget about these things, and then just something you said just sparked off a little memory. Um, yeah, I hope you're happy whatever you're doing at the moment, by the way, because love a good breakdown. Yes, yeah, you come to love them, don't you? Unless the thing is, there was a balance, right? It was okay some downtime, but it depended. It depended because if they were needing a certain number, you knew that if that breakdown lasted too long, you were getting an extra hour's overtime or two at the end of the shift. You know, like the one where you have no say. I forget what they call it now, but it was like rot or snot or something like that. The names were hilarious. Um, you'll never forget snapping the stopper. The stopper. What was that in? Was that in the big machine at the end? The stopper. I was going to say maybe it might be best not to mention what you broke, Sean. Although I don't know if you still work there or not. I don't. I think you've moved on from there, haven't you? Quite wise if you have. No, it's all right. It's just it's a hard graft in place. Like. Anyway, I think I've lost you. Um. Yeah, that's nice. It's nice to have you come on to have a bit of a chat actually, because I literally only had a couple of things to talk about. It was just the rocket that is not going anywhere. And oh, hang on, here we go. Just before 4:04, me and Keith were racing, and I pushed it too hard and sheared the metal stopper. Nicely done, Sean. Nicely done. I bet that caused a bit of a delay. Also, you were pushing it. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I'll not say too much on YouTube, but I think I know what you mean. Keith's a good old boy. I like Keith. See, that's the bit that I miss about jobs in general that I move on from. It's nothing to do with the work itself. Usually, it's the people. It's the crack that you have with people and the good laugh and the banter. Work is work, kind of wherever you go, really. But yeah, it's like the place I was at for 12 years. That work I don't miss in any way at all. But like some of the people, I mean, some of the people were jerks, but like most of them were good fun. And particularly at Nissan, the lads were hilarious. It's just some really good stuff. Oh, did you not know I've left? Oh yeah, I've been left a while, Sean. What was it now? About a year and 9 months. I don't know if you know, but you know when they got rid of too many staff, they put me in the clean room, train me up there, and it's because it's such a super dry environment in there. It just made me feel kind of ill. It made me feel like hungover and stuff, and it was still quite physically hard graft in there as well. Plus the dryness of the air, I just did not like it at all. So I said, like, please can I go back to one of these other two areas? I'm like, been here for years. I don't barely ever been off. I can work these other areas I'm trained in, but this dryness doesn't work with me. And they weren't interested. They were just like, nah, we need you in here. We've trained you in here. They shot themselves in the foot really, because I said it at the time when they laid off so many staff. I was like, this isn't going to work, because yes, the demand has dipped, but it's going to go straight back up. It's going to go back to normal, after all the COVID stuff. And I was right. It's usually the case, but I know that sounds big-headed, but I could see it coming a mile off. They were getting rid of too many people. And so because of that, everyone was spread thin, and then they needed me in the clean room, and I tried, but nah. So let's have a quick look. Must have been just before you moved you to module. Okay, same, right? Yeah. yeah, you can't pick and choose where you go. I said I never asked to move. Yeah, it sounds like you had the same experience as me, mate. And to a degree, I understand with an employer, it's like you've signed your contract of like they can put you in whichever section. That's fine. I understand that. But when you've got like a loyal employee who's I hadn't had a single day off in 4 years, and I'm like saying like this is making me feel ill. There was just no flexibility, but they have that kind of mindset of they'd rather just lose people than even consider just moving you back to a different department or having some flexibility. I think they were saying to me, "Oh, if you can wait a couple of months," I think they were trying to get some more recruitment in, and then there was a possibility of moving me back to one of the other sections. But by then, I'd already found other work, so I was just like, nah, see ya. But yeah, well, I hope you're happier in whatever you're doing, mate. It's yeah, I don't know what you preferred, whether you preferred when you were working in Area B or PAC, or what your preference was. It seemed to me that you were probably having some good fun with the lads banter-wise in Area B and stuff, but I don't know what the work's like there. I haven't actually worked in that section. I always got lost around that bit. It's so big. Oh, you enjoyed that? Area B was the best. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I used to love Nick. Nick was great. Yorkshire Nick, because I was obviously working with him material handling for quite a while, and then they put him back to Area B. He was needed there. Um, he was one of my favourite people there. I don't know if you ever worked with him. Um, but yeah, I used to, when I was sent on errands around there or material handling, moving stuff, or saying, "Oh, can you drop this off around such and such?" I didn't have a clue where I was going around that bit. Because I'd only been there once or twice, and I was like, it's like a bit of a maze to me, all that area. And man, I tell you what, driving a forklift truck down there, it gets so tight at places when you're trying to get things down, like down the side of module down towards area B and stuff. And you're sort of like trying to do these little sort of, well, say 3-point turn, it's more like a 7-point turn around where there's like the stair posts and stuff. You're just trying your best not to destroy the place, because those forklifts will easily just destroy the place. It would be so easy. Just go straight for a wall. In fact, you could usually see marks and stuff where things had obviously hit the wall before. Things like that. Um, but yeah, it's just a shame that a lot of employers are like that, where there's just no flexibility whatsoever, and they're willing to lose good people, you know. Oh, you are happy now. That's good. That's good to hear. Let's see now. Okay, yeah. Oh, you're manager now. Nice. Ah, go get it, man. Well done. Yeah, I can imagine looking after the staff at a young age must be a nightmare, especially nowadays. But no, fair play to you, mate. That's cool. That's cool. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I get to do a little bit of that with my current job. I'm like sort of like a deputy team leader, so I kind of flex. Half the time is doing the normal job, and then half the time is sort of overseeing the team and doing a little bit of sort of team leader stuff, which I'm not quite used to. I'm more used to just being a doer rather than the management side. But I've been enjoying it though. It's good. Yeah, the main thing is happiness and striking a balance between work and home life. So yeah, Nissan was good for a time, but yeah, it was their kind of decisions really. I mean, if they had have actually moved me back to another department, I probably still would have been there now, because I tend to just it takes something. It usually takes something big for me to move an employer. Like I said, I was with one employer for like 12 years before I left, and that was nothing to do with the work itself. The work was kind of fine. It was the systems became not fit for purpose, and I was like, this is just daft. It was just like, it was hard to do a good job because the systems were that bad, and that's why I moved. You know, thankfully the one I work for now, I'm going to be smart enough to just not mention who or what I do, but you know, online. But they're great. The systems just work really well. Software's good. People are good. People are great. So yeah, it's all good. But yeah, I'm glad to hear you're doing the management stuff. I can imagine you being the boss. Boss Sean. Cool. But yeah. Let's see, what time is it? I'm probably gonna have to go because yeah, I've still got a few things to do. I'm gonna grab a quick shower and stuff. So it's good to see you, buddy, and I'm glad to hear you're doing well. So yeah, keep at it, keep working, enjoy life, and I will catch you all later. All right, see you, man. See ya.